Welcome back. Did you know about 60% of people living in the Queen City rent their home? But in many cases, landlords are really nowhere to be found.
Tonight, the 7 Eyewitness News I-team discovers Buffalo's slumlord problem is getting out of control. But as Chief Investigator Charlie Speck tells us, city leaders do not seem to be worried.
That is a rat hole, a giant rat hole. You see that, Buffalo?
Follow Nate Boyd on Facebook and you'll see the ugly side of apartment living in Buffalo.
Look how big this rat is!
Whether it's rats in a city-owned housing project,
the ceiling just collapsed,
or busted ceiling in a rental unit.
My landlords, you see this? You see what I'm going through?
Boyd draws attention to renters who are far removed from the luxury of the latest downtown developments.
The slumlord issue is out of control. The people have had enough.
As the housing market in Buffalo has boomed, there appear to be more landlords who are buying up investment properties and doing little work to maintain them. The city says it has the problem under control, but records obtained by the 7 Eyewitness News I-team show the problem continues to plague both the east and west sides.
These landlords are getting away with treating people uncivilized.
But it's also turning into mold, and that's what he did. He covered it up. It was a big old hole like this big.
Holes and cracks have allowed mice to climb to the second floor of Nakia Anderson's apartment on Humboldt Parkway.
It's all over the house. It's like it's infested.
She found these 3 mice in her kitchen, this one on the living room floor, and another where her 1-year-old son plays.
They claim all the time they're going to get an exterminator, but they didn't do it yet.
Anderson pays $9.50 a month to a landlord who lives in Syracuse. The landlord told 7 Eyewitness News, "We're going to address it." City data shows a cluster of housing violations on the city's east and west sides. But Lou Petrucci, Director of Permits and Inspections for the city, said that may be changing.
Particularly on the west side, what we're seeing is a record number of permits this year, and you're going to see with the permits means that someone has invested in the property, that they're making some type of renovation repairs.
These people are the worst of the worst.
Patty McDonald started Project Slumlord when she noticed decrepit properties on Buffalo's west side were owned by the same group of 4 or 5 landlords. At the top of her list is Catherine George of Buffalo, whom a judge once called one of the worst property owners I have ever encountered. Property records show George owns all or part of 15 properties in Buffalo, some of which, McDonald says, George purchased at foreclosure auctions from the city.
I started looking into it a little bit, and very naively I said, oh, well, all we have to do is tell the common council members and they'll take care of everything. And here I am all these years later, and they're taking care of nothing.
Even after a judge sent George to jail last year for housing court violations, records show 7 of her properties still have open cases in Buffalo Housing Court. They've been cited for everything from lead paint to lack of gutters, junk and debris, unregistered vehicles, and houses that are, quote, vacant, not clean, not safe, and causing a blighting problem for the neighborhood. George said she couldn't sit for an interview, but one of her tenants put her on the phone. Do you regret that you bought all these houses?
No, I do not.
Well, if you're not able to keep them up, isn't that sort of a problem for the people who live around them?
Well, the people who live around them, they do not have their facts correct.
This is coming right from the court records. So are you saying that the judge is a liar? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, so, I think you really should call me tomorrow.
So we did, but she wanted to talk about her humanitarian work with immigrants in Buffalo.
And when nobody else was taking care of them, I was taking care of them, hosting them in my home. Nobody seems to be interested in that. They just seem to want to level accusations.
City leaders are now armed with new legislation, recently passed in Albany, that will allow the city to add unpaid building code fines to the annual tax bill. It would make it easier for the city to take over blighted properties.
I've been in touch with building inspectors and housing court personnel, and what they're telling me is that the city doesn't have a plan for implementing this.
That's not true. It's just we're working out the final details. The mayor has made it a priority in his administration to look after many of these bad landlords.
The mayor keeps passing the buck. He used to be out there advocating for the people strong. I love that guy. That guy. This guy, I don't know who this guy is. And the people don't know.
If Boyd has his way, the issue will be front and center in November's elections for the Common Council.
You're going to come to our functions and get our black vote? Come out here and hold a rat. Yeah, come out here and hold a rat!
For the I-Team, Charlie Speck, 7 Eyewitness News.